This Rendezvous took place in the year 2000. It captures a time in the love story of two child artists who met as co-stars, became friends, lovers, and then against all odds, husband and wife. After many tumultuous years, I recall they seemed finally at peace, emerging strong enough to tell their story. It was their first ever interview together, and sadly, perhaps their last. The personal story of Kamal Haasan and Sarika. Good evening, Kamalji.
Good evening.
Namaskar, Velunaikan, Apu Raja, Chachi Lakshmi Godbole, Chaplain Chalappa, Sekethram.
Yes.
And all those 200 people you immortalized on screen. I welcome you all.
Thank you. Not 200 actually, it'll be 10 or 15. The rest are clones.
But I'm glad you brought them all with you anyway.
Yes, that's my problem. I'm not able to shed a few of them. They just still hang on. One is a gentleman called Kamal Haasan. Hopefully, a gentleman.
The Kamal Haasan legend began 44 years ago when you first entered AVN Studios.
Yes.
Through the eyes of a 3-year-old, what was it like being in a studio?
Absolutely fascinating. I remember it as going to a fun place. To explain it to today's child would be like going to a theme park. There'll be horses, there'll be rapier swords, rehearsals. I mean, the place was a wonderland. I remember going to a Hindi film set and the hero was singing with a football and he kicked it to the left of camera and into this little boy's stomach. Yes, and he came and apologized, shook hands with me. So a very tall, handsome-looking man. I still hold a grudge for his looks. I don't mind the ball, but that's Mr. Shami Kapoor.
Oh, really?
So I've seen, I didn't even realize. I'd meet Shivaji Saab. I could see Ashok Kumarji walking across. It's a great time. And when I came back home, I was a hero for these little victories that I had. Then I started enjoying the special status. Sitting in Sarvati Amma's lap, learning to whistle from Gemini Ganeshan.
Okay.
And Shivaji Saab showing me how he smokes.
It must be a fascinating world.
I remember the boss then asked me, what would you take? Don't you want some money? I said, no, I'll just take, I need an Alsatian pup and a Plymouth car. That really bowled him over. I said, boy, that's something there.
Did you get the car and the pup?
No. I had horses, 3 rides, I had wooden swords cut out for me, which meant a lot to me at that time.
You also got the President's Award for Best Child Actor.
Yeah, that didn't mean much
That
then.
didn't mean anything.
At all, yeah.
But you come from a very successful family of criminal lawyers.
Lawyers who defend criminals.
Yes,
I prefer it that way.
That's very true. I'm so sorry. But you always, even at that time, you wanted to be an actor.
No, I wanted to become a director. That was my dream. I was a very reluctant actor.
I consider Nayakan one of the finest performances in Indian cinema. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I've seen it 8 times.
Thank you.
In that scene where you find out that your son has died. How did you go about doing it?
Like we are ready to roll, and this was a very important scene. And I told my junior artist friends who helped me a lot, there's some excellent actors there, to bemoan the death of my son. The little young lion is gone. What will you do, Sahar? And they kept saying that, and it became, the funeral atmosphere automatically came. Indians have this tendency to cry for others more readily than I see in the Western countries. So they were all doing it. Suddenly I was there. It was a funeral. Didn't matter whose funeral. And then the wailing sobs came.
And then they told you, don't look at his face.
लड़का आग में बिल्कुल जल गया मत देखो नायकर जी,
And he wants to.
मत देखो नायकर जी.
He has to.
He has to.
But when you cry, does the emotion have to be real?
That moment, yes. Otherwise, it doesn't work for me.
So what do you think of?
That sadness has to affect me.
But that
So
sadness,
it's-
not some other sadness.
No, I never juxtapose it.
You don't.
My mother's death, my loss, my personal things will not get in.
Really?
That is a pacifier. It's not the actual breast.
You make acting look very effortless. Is it?
It is.
Isn't it
It's
a
like
lot of hard work?
mathematics.
It's
I
hard.
never could understand mathematics. I was never good at it. But I have a neighbor who reads maths like poetry. For him, maths is poetry.
Yeah, it just comes easily.
Yes.
Isn't it much harder to laugh?
Oh, yes. Invariably, if you find early actors just trying to laugh and end up with a lot of air,
Yeah.
no noise comes, you don't know how to control the vocal cords. And then another thing is an actor doesn't know how to yawn.
Real yawn.
It's very difficult. Some people find even sneezing difficult. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
But what about laughing? How do you do that?
One of the experts in laughter was Shivaji Saab, because he taught us generally for free, because he had done various laughters.
So if he taught you for free, why can't you teach me for free?
No, you don't need to be taught.
Just tell me how you do it. This is, I want
You
to-
know it. I've seen
No.
you laugh in films.
I'm never happy with my laugh.
Yeah, but it depends. Neither am I, because you can have a big or a or a kind of thing. I mean, it can go on and on and on.
You know, when I see you in front of me, no makeup, no disguise, you look like a pretty regular guy. I mean, I've forgotten what the real Kamal Haasan is like. But the real Kamal Haasan is a chameleon.
Chameleon? I don't know. Tamilion. So, which, yes, because of
A chameleon chameleon.
Chameleon.
You have played so many varied characters that it's impossible to keep count. A psychopathic killer, a retard, quadruplets, old men, all kinds of people, men, women, a 60-year-old nanny. What makes Kamal Haasan want to be unrecognizable?
Can you imagine watching this face every day morning in the mirror and thinking that, oh, it looks the same, and what do I do?
In real life also, you sometimes wear a disguise.
Oh, that's for fun. I've done it here in Bombay. I have this afro wig, and I've taken walks in the streets. It was enjoyable.
But how old are you inside, Kamalji?
I don't know, sometimes on a defeatist day, as I call it, I could go up to 80.
Today, how old are you?
With you sitting there, I could become 16, I could become 18. And then when you ask the difficult questions, I could become 40, my age. And it's all happening inside, you can't see it.
Do you still get excited by praise and awards?
Oh, yes. I don't know about institution called awards or anything, but applause or genuine praise sort of gets to me very easily. I want to believe it, even sometimes false praise.
Even false praise.
I'd love to believe it.
You enjoy the limelight.
Yes, it's a nice place to die.
Don't say that.
That's what I call myself. It's an old cliche thing. I said I'm a limelight moth.
You know, once I asked Amitji what the demons were that drove him. He said it was fear of anonymity, of not being recognized.
Anonymity is something that doesn't frighten me at all. Sometimes you seek it. Even to be asked to leave, please leave, we don't want you, doesn't frighten me.
What are the demons that drive you?
The demon that drives me is complacency. I hate it. I contain the demons.
Without any doubt, you are a superb actor on screen. But which role off screen in your life have you played best?
I hope my children can give the right answer, which I expect. I don't know. I'm trying to play those well as well. But there are lapses because I have this split, forked love for both cinema and my woman. She has to share it. Luckily, I have a wife who understands that love. She shares that love.
Sarika ji, it's absolutely wonderful to have you here, to have you both here together. It's lovely. Is this your first interview together?
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for giving it to me. I remember we worked in a film together long ago. I can't recall the name of the film.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about, yes. And Mr. M.G. Hashmat's film.
I remember there were a lot of stars, and even though there were so many people on sets, आप तो हमेशा अकेले बैठते थे, किताब सामने, कभी-कभी ऊपर देखते थे,
ऐसे भी शायद वो जो बात करते थे वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आती थी. I've never been what do you say, रात को क्या हुआ यार, कितनी दारू पी ली, अरे उसने क्या किया, ये मेरा शायद सीन नहीं था. So I think I was not very good for company, and I really like reading.
You started in films as a child star. Was this a way of keeping in touch with school?
No, I never went to school.
At all?
No, I think I was taken to school one day by my dad and my mom, but I started working, and I think it was something which was not very convenient, so I never went to school.
Would you have wanted to go to school?
Oh, yes. I really would have loved.
Take my school days.
He didn't want to go to
I
school.
didn't want.
That's strange, no? Interestingly, both of you were child stars. He loved it. Did you?
Very much. I don't know anything else. I just know films because no school is the best thing that could have happened to me.
You started acting at the age of 4 or 5? 5. And your first film was Hamraz.
Hamraz.
Hey, तुम कौन हो? हम? नहीं, हम आंटी के आटा है.
When I look back and see Hamraz, I think I really appreciate the assistant directors because I don't look so silly. You know, they have a tendency to make children look very silly.
No,
They
it depends on the child also. You were good. There were very many
होता
people.
है ना, वो बच्चों को सिखाते हैं, ओह माँ ऐसे क्यों करते हो, तो बच्चा वही टर करके बोलता है, you look very silly, you know. And in fact, I think ज़रा ज़्यादा ही उन्होंने अच्छा किया था, because my first shot in the film is in this orphanage where Mimi ji comes and Achla Sachdev ji says, you know, हम बच्चों को सब कुछ दे सकते हैं लेकिन माँ बाप का प्यार नहीं दे सकते. वो मेरा पहला दिन था, जब शॉट शुरू हुआ वो लाइन भूल गई जैसे हम सबसे होता है, लेकिन मेरी एंट्री वहाँ थी, अब मुझे तो वो याद. So I told her, you know, कि आपके ये ना माँ बाप का प्यार नहीं दे सकते, because I wanted to make my entry.
आपने डायलॉग उनको बता दिया. Okay. What does becoming a child star do to a person?
Well, he didn't do anything bad to me, but what she says is another story. I'm talking about 5-year-old having to work, and that's what she used to tell me, that you had to do it.
The circumstances
comprehend
were different.
Circumstances, and you have to do it.
Can't force a child.
That's sad. She may not accept it, but it could be settled into the child.
There are certain things which come with childhood,
Yeah, like
which never come again. It's just the freedom when you are not aware of anything in life.
That's right.
You cannot deprive them of what can never come back in any other age.
Tell me, how do they make children cry?
Put glycerine.
Oh, that's bad enough.
Yeah, sometimes they tell them bad things. सोचो तुम्हारी माँ ऐसे हो रही है.
I think that luckily they didn't do for me.
Because some children don't feel like crying, you see, so they do.
They're happy children.
Yeah.
But it's the parents, they're frustrated actors trying to act through their children. So they trouble the children.
In one of our films we were doing, that is Kamalji's film we were doing, and the child had to cry, and suddenly I went into the maker room and I saw the mother was,
Yeah.
you know,
Pinching her.
pinching and really like, you know, it's very rough.
But back to this childhood thing, I want to ask, what does it do to you emotionally?
I think we grew up before our time. Yes. Definitely, that you cannot deny. We know every emotion which I need not have gone through. That is what, you know, chips of that little thing.
Chips away at you.
आप सोचिए एक नॉर्मल बच्चे के लिए किसी एक माँ या बाप का मर जाना कितना एक ट्रॉमेटिक एक्सपीरियंस है. और हम लोग 5 साल या 6 साल की उम्र में बस ऐसे सीन करके चले जाते हैं. लोग बोलते हैं वेरी गुड वेरी गुड वेरी गुड. कोई बिस्किट देता है, कोई चॉकलेट देता है, सब चले जाते हैं, पैकअप होता है. आपको समझ में नहीं आता. इट्स नॉट दैट यू गो होम एंड यू थिंक यू डोंट हैव दैट मच ऑफ
Ability
यस, बट समवेयर इट,
in the psyche.
हाँ, इतनी बड़ी बात होती है, कुछ भी बात नहीं, आपने चॉकलेट खा ली, आप सो गए. यू नो, इट इज दैट प्लेइंग विद द इमोशन.
Do they tell you ये सिर्फ नाटक है, प्रिटेंस है, ये असल बात?
तो बोलते हैं,
बोलते
ऐसी बात नहीं, मगर दे वर्क यू अप टू दैट ना. शॉर्ट तक वो आधा घंटा जो है वो आपके इमोशंस को ऐसे चाबी चढ़ाते जाते बिकॉज द शॉर्ट अच्छा आना चाहिए.
So what do you do with all those new emotions that they have suddenly put inside your head?
कुछ नहीं करते, वही गलती है. कुछ भी
अंदर
नहीं.
ही रहता है.
बस, और ना वो समझता है हमको, ना किसी और को, ना हम उसको सुलझाने की कोशिश करते हैं. और यू नो, समवेयर traumas, pain and loss and all become so normal.
Really?
You know, everything is like chalta hai. So you see, it becomes casual. These kind of things become so casual.
It disturbed you?
By the time I could realize it, I think I didn't care anymore.
Okay.
It really didn't matter.
Okay. From between being a child star and a film star, which was a happier time for you?
मुझे लगता है दोनों बहुत अलग थे, एक दूसरे से बहुत हटकर थे. जब चाइल्ड स्टार की तरह, I think those years are very nice because when you grow up, people don't really care if they're hurting you anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of happiness goes.
Yeah, the grown-up child is never respected.
It's not needed, you know. She can take care of herself, so they don't really take her. Yeah.
So in that sense, Bollywood prepares you for a life on camera, on screen, but it doesn't really prepare you for a life off screen, does it?
Could have gone wrong, both lives.
Could have.
Help of
What
the
matters
family.
ultimately is we have
We have
survived.
survived.
Survivors, yes. Sarika, I remember when you were 21, you left your home and everything that you had earned all your life, and you walked out of the house and restarted your life and restarted your career. What compelled you to do that?
I think I just did something which I honestly felt was good, not only for me, but even for my mother. Maybe I saw it before the others, and I thought it had to be done, and it comes after a lot You know, I mean, you don't make such decisions overnight.
But you left with 60 rupees in your pocket
And my car.
and your car and started life all over again. How did you cope?
I coped. I mean, it was very hard because it was not it's not just that one is worried about where the meal is going to come from or this or all that. Because I never knew how I would end up. I would end up in the streets, or I really don't know what would happen. So I kept away. I just met my friends, and I would go to their house, have a bath, and like a normal visit, you know, as I usually do. And nights I would sleep in my car. And
Amazing.
I think it had its nice side too.
But you never were fearful?
No,
Why?
I don't know. I think it's sometimes when you really have the need to do something, फिर वो हिम्मत अपने आप आ जाती है.
Did you surprise yourself with your own strength?
I don't know. It's only when people like you keep saying it. When it happens, you're not trying to see, do I have the strength to do that? Can I go through it? Oh, I was very strong. I think what you do is, I have to do it. You do it, you go through, you go through. You don't go through, you start again. So that process, there is no time to analyze if you are, till you're made aware of it.
But all alone, and you didn't even talk to people?
No. I mean, I didn't tell anybody at all.
No, I came to know much later.
That's when you came into her life.
Even
much
and
later.
that it was happening then too. I don't know whether she was living in a car, but she was
No, by then I had a room of my own.
room, but not
PG accommodation.
You'll be shocked because you meet her as a star
Yeah.
in the sets, and then very few people knew where she lived.
Is that right?
Yeah, and when I became close to her, I was shocked to see. I liked it. I liked it. Probably there was a little bit of sympathy, admiration,
Admiration.
and she didn't want that sympathy. She found it very insulting if any of her friends, especially somebody like me, asked whether you need any help. I mean, she'll get upset about it because any financial involvement will make it very vulgar. We'll not talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's what's very important for me.
That was pride.
That was pride, and I sort of admired it then because I was a lover. I should have known. We were acting together in Raj Tilak.
That's when you came into her life.
Yes.
जब मैंने इनको पहली बार देखा,
I would be lying if I say it was only friendship. I was quite attracted. I wasn't even sure whether I wanted it to happen. It was very painful.
I realized I was in love with him, I think, when things were very bad.
I was a married man, that's one thing.
जितने भी लोग आपको गाली देते हैं, गलत करते हैं या आपसे नफरत करते हैं, वो सब जायज़ होता है.
We were taboo, people kept away. I was wiped out financially.
I would have liked to get married to him. That's the dream of a very young girl.